Hello everyone, just making sure we are in the right section and making sure that my live pops up here. Just give me 1 second to make sure that we are good to go. I might have to refresh my screen. Nope, it looks like we're good. Hello everyone, just doing my quick mic check and sound check and making sure everything is clear. It seems clear on my end. Anyhow, welcome to Cards by TLC. My name is Tammy and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of the San Francisco Bay Area. And whether you are joining me for the first time or returning, welcome. If this is your first time, thanks Marcy for the sound check. If this is your first time in joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. And if you have not yet subscribed, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and notification bell to all so you don't miss any of my future lives or videos. As always, I do have a personal goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so I would love for you to help me out with that goal. And we are almost halfway there, so thank you all so much. Today is Thursday, July 20th, which just happens to be my late beautiful mama's 82nd birthday. So happy heavenly birthday to my beautiful mama. And I think we're going to do something special tonight. I think we're going to celebrate with her favorite pasta, shrimp pasta dish. So I think we'll be doing that. Whew, okay. We are streaming here live right here on YouTube. And if you are catching me on the replay, so go ahead and skip forward for a minute while I say hello. Hello, Marcy. Hello, everyone. Aw, thank you, Marcy. And today we are playing with an oldie but goodie. The Color Contour Stamp Dies, or stamp set, or catalog, I think for a couple of years now. But it can be found on page 25 in the annual catalog, and it does have the coordinating dies. I use these dies all the time. As you know, these are probably my go-to dies, so I am going to be very sad when these retire. So let's go ahead and see this week's card class to go. And we have these projects. I'm going to go ahead and bring out the kits too, so you know exactly what you're getting. We have these projects right here, playing with these bright, cheerful colors. I needed the cheerfulness today. So we are creating these 3 cards. And if you would like to make these 3 cards, you would just place an order in my online store through Monday, July 24th. And you will receive all the supplies, or most of the supplies. You'll be receiving the supplies to make 2 of each of the 3 projects, excluding any of the bundles or stamp sets. Stampin' Up! Doesn't allow me to ship out stamped images or stamped and cut images. So you'll be receiving 6 card kits total in order to total. But your order does have to be $35 before tax and shipping using this host code. Now you have to make sure that you do use this host code for these kits. The link will be in the description box below that takes you directly to my online store. But if you want to do it right away, after this video, just take a quick screenshot and you can have that as if it's before you have access to the pre-record or the replay. Sorry, words are hard today. And then sorry for the printed out version. I'm not fancy yet, but someday I will be fancy where my number shows up in the bottom of my videos. But when you do place a $50 order before tax and shipping, as a thank you for me, you will be receiving the beautiful tinsel gems. And I love these gems. They go perfect with the projects today. But let's go ahead and get started on the first project. Let me put this down here. Hello, Patty, for joining us. You're going to case all of these. These designs are amazing. Well, I'm glad you like it because I'm usually wanting to case your projects, Miss Marcy. So this is our first project. Let me go ahead and show you the pieces that you'll be receiving in your kit. You will be receiving a standard card base in thick basic white. Now this is unusual for me. Typically I don't do basic white card bases, but I thought it was perfect for this project, and my friend Marcy is encouraging me to use these thick basic white card bases. And then as you see in this project, there's some flecks of ink that we are splattering today. So we're going to be using her technique that she uses on a lot of her projects. So thank you for the reminder of that technique. It's amazing. You'll also be receiving an extra piece of basic white that you'll be able to stamp your two flowers. And then you'll be receiving these 1/2-inch strips of Highland Heather and Lost Lagoon, as well as a little piece of DSP for the inside of our card, because we all know I always have to decorate the insides of the cards. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to start by stamping our quick 2 pieces. In fact, we don't even necessarily have to do that because I have actually, with the magic of TV, already pre-cut and stamped those pieces out. So those are already done. So you'll just want to take this piece of quarter sheet that I have in your kit, and you'll stamp 2 of those in Tuxedo Memento black ink. So we'll just go ahead and skip that step. Next, we're going to go ahead and, you know what, you know me, let's go ahead and do the inside of our card. So we will just add our little strip to the bottom to decorate the inside. I know it was kind of hard to see the ink splattered on there, right, Marcy? But I did it. So there is that, and let's go ahead and I'm going to put that forward here, but I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap here that I have my ink on. That way I don't splatter that. And we'll go ahead and get that in frame here, making sure that is in frame. And then we'll put these off to the side and make sure that these don't get ink on them. Although I don't think it would matter, but let's just go ahead and do that. And then I am using Dark Daffodil Delight for my splattering. Now, I do it very lightly just because I don't want to ruin the tips. So it doesn't. We're just gonna flick and get some ink for just some dimension in there. Do some, maybe some down here at the bottom. There, that's all it needs. So that was in Dark Daffodil Delight, and let me go ahead and bring this closer to the camera. I don't know if you can see the splatters, but they are there. And then we're going to go ahead and color our pieces, our flowers. And we are using dark Highland Heather and light Daffodil Delight, as well as, I believe this is dark, oh no, this is light Lost Lagoon. So let's go ahead, and typically I have these already colored, but we're just going to do a little bit of coloring today because it just takes a little bit. Slapping on the color won't take that long to color here. Talk amongst yourselves while I quickly do some coloring. even this quick, easy. And then come in with the Lost Lagoon. And typically you would want to color before you cut these out, but I thought I was going to be easier and just do this, but sometimes it's a little hard to see that. Let's just go ahead and, while we have it, start off with our leaves. Lost Lagoon is a perfect blue undertone green. And then we're going to come in. You love watching people color? I do too, but I don't like doing it on camera. I feel like I hold people up. And as you know, and I mentioned in some of my lives, my vision's not the best. So sometimes more detailed coloring would definitely take more time and energy. But this quick little, let's slap some color on these images work just fine. And we are almost done. There, that's quick and easy and done. So those are off to the side. And then we're just gonna come in with our strips of paper. And I just kind of want to lay out where I want it. And then I'm actually going to put just some adhesive down ahead of time rather than glue these strips individually. I find that it's just easier to see how much. In fact, what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to stamp the sentiment in the corner first. That way it can show me where to line up the strips. That's what I'm going to do. Bring in our Highland Heather, and thank you for everything. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is just come in with my Stampin' Seal and just kind of angle. That may have been a little too high, but I'm just going to angle the strips and then come in like that and do it that way. Now you want to be careful that you cover up what you've laid down, but I'm pretty sure that these will cover up. Ooh, I almost did a little too much. So if you do it that way, you definitely want to make sure that you're going to be covering up. And I just made it. Yep, I just made that. So if you do that, please lay down your strips so you kind of know how much you're going to need. But whew, that may have been almost, I would have just added another strip. It wouldn't have been no big deal, but pay attention to that if you do it that way. Otherwise, you can just glue the centers of your strips however way you want to do that. And then cut off the edges. I honestly didn't know if these color combos would go well together either, Marcy, but I thought since they were both like blue undertones, I just thought it was pretty. In my opinion, honestly, Lost Lagoon goes with a lot. So, you know, since I think they're even in the same color family, it just, it goes really, really well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pop up the purple one, but we'll go ahead and lay down the yellow flower first. Hi, Nell. Welcome in. No, you're fine. We are just on card number 1. Thank you for joining us. And you can always watch the replay once it goes live after it uploads. It's funny how a live video, it's already uploaded, but it takes a minute for it to truly go live after the fact. Maybe as I get more subscribers, it might show more instantly. I don't know. I don't know how that works yet. So we are going to lay that down and then come in with our gems. And I try to keep my take your pick tool in front over here. I think I'm gonna have to get a second one just so. And you know what? I think I'm gonna come in with a glue dot because I don't really like that sticking up as much. So I'm just gonna come in with a glue dot and come in below here, and then that way those stems can lay flat just like that. There we go. And then the tinsel gems, and let's take the lid off. I'm not going to be able to grip that very well with the lid on. That's not going to work very well. And I had it towards the top. And there is card number 1. You have 3 take your pick tools. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to invest in maybe 1 or 2 more for sure. At least 1. And there is our first project. Pretty basic and simple. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to project number 2. And this one is kind of like a little mini fun fold, but it just has the missing part there. And I broke my own cardinal rule. I didn't do a little strip there. So we might have to, if I have that, I do have it. We might have to cut a little strip because that's gonna bother me. You know me, I need to have my little matchy. So let's just quickly cut a strip before we get started. And then that way, make sure that is, okay. And then that way we can decorate the inside of our card. So in your kit, you will be receiving, making sure I have all the little pieces. Oh, I have some over there. You will be receiving your main card base of Highland Heather. You'll be receiving a basic white for the inside piece. And then you'll be receiving, obviously, the strips that you're going to be needing for the fronts. You're going to need 2 basic white pieces, a Highland Heather piece, 2 designer pieces. Now this designer paper is from the Subtles collection of the 6x6 color family, or the Subtle color family of the 6x6 collection. And then you will be receiving another piece for the inside of your die cut piece. That is actually the inside, and I'm actually going to give you as a tip the quick sizes and dimension. I don't know if I have it written down really quick. Hold on just 1 second. I might not have it written down. Oh, actually I do. So this piece is actually 3 1/4 by 1, or 1 7/8 by 3 1/4. So 1 7/8 by 3 1/4, and it actually fits perfectly on the inside of the 3rd largest scalloped die. So that is a little tip for you, just a bonus. But you will also be receiving a Highland Heather piece and a basic white piece, so you can do your die cutting. Now the dies you're going to want to use is, like I said, the 3rd of the largest of the scallop, and then the smallest for your basic white. So when you watch this video for your kits, you'll want to cut those out. But I have already cut those pieces out, so we can just move forward with that. You're right, Marcy. And all the sizes and dimensions will be in the PDF when you place that order. I just thought I would give a little fun bonus tip of the size of the exact size of the inside of the stitched scallop. So that is your bonus. So let us start by, you know what, I think I'm going to start by just stamping and coloring, and that way it's out of the way, and then we can just everything together. So let's do our stamping and our coloring real quick and get that out of the way. So we have the cute flower, and I'm going to add Memento black ink, and I hope that this is going to be okay because I need to re-ink my black Memento pad. But let's bring in my foam, since these are a photopolymer, so we can get a better stamped image. And then we're just going to, it doesn't oops, sorry about that, everyone. It doesn't 100% fit. The stem does fall off just a little bit at the bottom, but that's okay, because that will actually be covered up by your little sentiments. There we go. Yeah, I need to re-ink my black ink. And then let's go ahead and stamp our "You Are Absolutely Amazing" in our Highland Heather, and that fits perfectly in this die cutout. Let me just come down here, making sure that's correct. I have to angle my eye at a certain way, so if my head is in the way, I apologize, but there we go. Okay, so those are done, and then let's bring back in our Highland Heather and our Lost Lagoon. Just quickly add some color. And I want to give a special shout out to Marcy on here. She is my mod, and she has been answering questions when I am not available. So thank you, Marcy, for doing that. And I know you all answer each other's questions, but I wanted to give you just a special shout out because you're always putting information that is needed that I miss. So thank you. Everyone is always happy to help, but you and Patty are always on top of it with answering questions and helping out in the chat. So I appreciate you both. There we go. Now you can see how this comes together. It's really fun how it comes together. And you'll be surprised on how easy it is. It's actually going to be a very easy, fun fold. I actually have my bone folder here today. So let's get that. And then your basic white is cut to fit on the inside of the panel, so you're going to glue that down. And again, I like to use the Stampin' Seal for inside, just so it doesn't leave those lines. And then let's go ahead and put our little strip of designer paper. That goes at the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay this way so it's just easier to put the layers on top. So you're going to have your basic white right there, and that's cut to size, and then your DSP is cut to size as well. So we're just going to layer that right on top. And I'm going to go ahead and use Tombow glue on this just so it can wiggle if it needs to, just to line it up. Line that up just with a little bit of border there. I think it probably is like an 1/8 or even maybe a 1/16. I think it's an 1/8 of an inch difference. It might have been cut to a 1/16. And that goes right on top. And now we're going to have our second piece. And this second piece is actually going to be going on the bottom. It's not going to be glued down, so don't freak out. But let's go ahead and put our layers on. And you'll see what I mean, how it comes together. If you're not familiar with this fold, you might be learning something new. I hope that you learn something new each and every week. That's my goal. And then that lays right on top, leaving that little bit of a border. And then we're going to add our stamped piece here, our focal point piece. And like I said, that fits right in the center of the border, leaving that stitched border around the stamped image. And what we're going to do now is we're going to lay this flat right here. And we are going to add adhesive to the top and the bottom only. You don't want to add it to the whole piece. So you want to add it to the top and the bottom. And you want to line that back up. Make sure those edges right here match up. Lay that flat. And then lay that piece flat. Press it down. Flip it over and really just press those edges down. And you now have your flap. And this, as long as, honestly, this layout, as long as that image fits within the thing, and you can even do a little bit larger square. You could do the second largest, it's fine. But as long as that image fits in there, I think it works just nicely. And I think I lost my sentiment. Oh, there it is. And that works perfectly with this layout. You could even just do a square or the deckled rectangles, whichever layout that you want. So now what we're going to do, did I pop these up? Yes, I did. What I'm going to go ahead and do is add some dimensionals to the back of this and pop this little guy up. And then lay that down perfectly, and then come in with our gems and finish off this project. off of there, little guy. Okay, you're not picking up. Pick up. Thank you, Patty. I'm glad you like them. So there is project number 2. Comes together really quick and easy. Like I said, this layout is probably one of my favorites because I just love that broken piece in the middle. And that is how you do that card. So let's go ahead and bring in project number 3. And we are playing with Azure Afternoon, one of the brand new colors of this year's Stampin' Up color revamp. So there is that. And in your card kit, you will be receiving, let's get all the pieces out. You'll be receiving the main card piece of Azure Afternoon, your basic white for your inside piece. This time I did remember the little inside strip, and then you're also having another strip for the front. And I believe this is the third smallest in the scallop dies. So you'll be receiving that for your sentiment. And then you'll also be receiving let me get this off to the side here. An extra 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white. And what you're going to want to do now is I will show you where, and oh, I was like, where are my dies? You are going to want to use the scallop edging of the scalloped and contour dies. And what I did was I came up about, and you'll see on your kits, I've actually put a light pencil line, and I came up probably about 1/8 of an inch right there. So you'll want to line up that scallop right there and run it through your die cutting machine. I suggest you put some flags to hold that down or post-it tape to hold that down, but your card kits will have the markings and a light pencil mark to show you exactly where you're going to want to cut that. So again, with magic of TV, and I don't want the camera shaking, I have already pre-cut my scallop piece, and that is what it looks like. And it fits just perfectly to give that edging look on the bottom. So you'll be receiving that. And then you'll also be receiving this gorgeous ribbon. And this is part of a trio package. And it comes in Azure Afternoon, Lemon Lolly, and Bubble Bath. And you, this comes as a trio for $12. So it's really reasonable for 3 spools of ribbon. That's a really good deal. So you'll be receiving those pieces in your kit as well. And where are my pieces? Oh, you know what? My goodness. I did not cut my basic white piece and your Azure Afternoon. So guess what? We are doing that on camera today too. So let us... Of course, I didn't write those sizes down. Oh, that was fun. I just kind of created my own sizes. So we're gonna figure this out right on camera. Okay. So you're getting some extra bonus sizes and dimensions on this one. 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. Believe that is correct. Yep, 2 1/4. Real live TV here. I was like, where are my pieces? Well, your kits will have them. It's just mine didn't apparently want to make its way into the the kits. So this is 2, I believe. Yep. 2 by 5. Okay, just making sure. Oh, I did not see your comment before. All of the comments have disappeared. That's weird. Is anyone else having issues on seeing the comments? No, Patty, I'm sorry. I totally missed your comments. Just making sure that everybody can see the comments. Hi, Z. Welcome. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad she responded to your comment. So thank you for responding, Marcy. I'm glad that everything worked itself out. I apologize, Patty. I totally missed your comments. So we're going to go ahead and stamp this focal front piece first before we do the inside of the card. That way we can get all the stamping out of the way. So I'm going to bring in that scrap piece just in case, because we are going to be stamping off on this color. This is Azure Afternoon. And we have this little, instead of doing the little flicks, you can do the little splatter flicks. But this stamp set also comes with a splatter image. So that would be kind of fun just to, so you can see the difference. But you can certainly do the flicking technique like I did on the first card. And do it that way as well. But we're just going to stamp off and just do some background little splatter images for the background. And I'm just sporadically coming in and doing it that way. And there you go. And then we're going to leave that out. And then this is actually a 2-step stamping. However, I am not a fan of the way the second portion comes in. It gives it an artistic look. However, I always have trouble lining it up just right. And I wanted this to look a little bolder and more smoother, so to speak. This does give it like an artistic splotchy look, but it does do a 2-step stamping. So you can do that. However, I just came in and did full strength on my flowers. I'm trying to line them up pretty evenly. And then I'm going to let that dry because I'm going to be coloring those with my blends. And I'm going to come in with Dark Lemon Lolly. And I believe this is a Light Azure Afternoon. I'm going to let that dry really quick. And we're going to go ahead and work on the inside of our cards. Because we're just going to color and add some color to that. So I'm just going to let that sit off to the side really quick. And come in and let's go ahead and work on putting the rest of our card together. But we're going to start with the inside panel and adding our little strip to the bottom. Marcy, it's on your end too. I'm telling you, maybe maybe TikTok, oh my gosh, maybe YouTube is having a glitch. I hope you guys can see the comments again. I can see the comments. They have not gone away, thankfully, on my end. So I do see your comments. So if someone in the chat can kind of tell me if you're able to see comments, I would really appreciate it. When I started card 3, all the comments disappeared. Are they back now, Patty? I can see the comments on my end. So thankfully they have not disappeared on my end. You can see them fine. Okay. Nell, did they ever go away on your end? So the next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that out, and then I'm going to bring in this strip at the bottom. I want to lay that, leaving about 1/4 of an inch border before I lay down the basic white piece. Okay. Comments from then on here, but I know you didn't see my previous one, so it's just, and it's got to be internet gremlins. But I could have missed your comment, Patty, by looking down. As far as I know, I didn't see any comments disappear. So now, before we lay down this piece, we're going to wrap, we're going to do a faux bow, and we're going to wrap the ribbon around the top. And then what I did is, I'm actually going to bring in, I'm going to do some really cheating. You can either do some seal, and we're going to lay that down, but we're going to make sure that we have the proper ribbon facing up before we do that. And then I'm going to come in with a piece of Scotch tape. This is how I like to do the cheat technique. And then just wrap that around and then come in with another piece. Now you can either do some seal or what have you, but I just bring in a piece of tape and tape that down. And then I'm going to come in, raise that up just a little bit there, and then come in with your second little strip and just do a quick knot, and that gives it a little faux bow. I like to do these fake bows because I am not a bow girl. You know, I've been very vocal about that on my lives. There we go. And then we're going to come in with our seal and add some adhesive to the back. Okay, and then we're going to lay that right on top. You're going to take your corner edges and have them line up with the DSP there. And there is that. And then we're going to stamp our sentiments. I missed that portion, and that is thank you for everything again. Make sure I have it cleaned off from before. Coming in with the Zora Afternoon, and it fits perfectly in this third to the smallest circle. It's funny how glares mess up your eyes, so I have to come in at the bottom and do it that way. Okay, and there is that. And then we'll go ahead and do our coloring. Our images should be dry now. What I'm going to go ahead and do really quick is color the insides of our circle here. I wanted that to dry so that it doesn't give it that green look. So we're going to just pop some yellow. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of come in quickly. I mean, not, and just kind of give my own solid but artistic look to it. I'm not going to worry about making sure it's colored in perfectly. Just coming in and giving that fake out look, so to speak, like we stamped the inside of this. But it gives it more of a solid look rather than a splotchy look. Basically just coming in and just doing some lines, and it's still giving that artistic look but solid at the same time. There we go. Then we're just gonna glue our leftover pieces down and our projects will be finished. Thanks, Patty. I just really struggled with this. Sometimes on the two-step stamping sets, I sometimes really struggle. And because my vision is wonky, I just sometimes have to do it a different way. But I feel like they have improved over the years with their two-step stamping. This is their I guess their newer version of two-step stamping. I know two-step stamping's been around for a while, but I feel like either this is just an older set and I've used it so many times that it gives it that splotchy look. I just couldn't get it to line up just right. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to color it. And then we're going to come in here and lay that panel down. And then pop this up on dimensions and finish up with the tinsel gems. This time we'll do the blue. I believe it's Misty Moonlight, but it looks good with the Azure Afternoon. It just picks up that, I think it's maybe the tinsel in the gems that picks up basically any of the colors. Okay, and there we have it. Let's go ahead and bring back our projects. Here we go. That we made today. Now remember, for this class to go, the cutoff is midnight Pacific time, Monday, July 24th. And again, be sure you're going to want to use this host code. And let me find my piece of paper that has my host code on it. You'll want to use this host code, and again, it'll be in the description below. But if you enjoyed today's projects, I would love for you to make sure that you click that like button on my video. That helps my channel grow so much. And if you know of anyone that would like to watch my weekly lives, please be sure to share my channel with them. That helps me out as well. Remember, tomorrow is my Fun Fold Friday. It is a pre-recorded video that is on my channel around 6 a.m. I do have a question for you though. I was wondering for next week for the Fun Fold Friday if you would like me to try the premiere video. And with a premiere video, instead of my videos just being live at 6 a.m. ready to just watch whenever, it's premiered around, I'm probably thinking around 9 a.m. Pacific time. This way it's kind of like a live, and I'll be in the chat to answer any questions anybody may have about my projects. So what do you think? Do you think maybe we should try that method first? I would like your guys' thoughts in the chat. So chat away really quick and let me know. That sounds fun, Patty says. So like a 9 a.m., not this week, we'll start next Friday. So this Friday we'll still do just the quickly 6 a.m. Or if you want me to start this week, I can do it this week. But I kind of want to give people a chance to see this video and vote. But I'm thinking we can probably try something new next week for premiere. I don't know. What do you think? And if you're watching the replay, go ahead and put in the comment section what you would like to see, whether you want to have it for you available at 6 a.m. Pacific time, as we've been doing the past several weeks, or if you want to try a premiere video. So be sure to put in the comment section which way you would like. But I want to thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. And I will be back live to you next week with another fun project. Thanks, everyone. Give it a go. Okay. Okay, well, maybe we'll try that. Next week, we'll do a premiere video, but this week, tomorrow at 6 a.m. Pacific time, the video will be up at its normal time. Thanks, everyone. Thank you all. Thank you, Z, for joining. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.